Unfortunately, the vast majority of the research into sexual harassment has shown that reporting tends to make things worse. I'll draw on an example that my colleague Christina Larson told me recently. She's the lawyer who does amazing work in this area and represents victims quite a lot. And she said in all the cases that she has now helped people win, even when they win, they leave. Doesn't matter. Like, you can win a case. You can get that person fired. You will not end up staying there because you can't once you've been through all that. And so the thing is that what we have to do is step back from the idea that the victim is going to be the person that bears the responsibility of fixing the problem, right? When the problem is the culture, the problem is the perpetrator, the problem is the infrastructure. And how can we better address that? The last thing I'll say is, again, when we think about culture, is leaders really matter. So if you are a boss, if you have any direct reports yourself, you need to put some thought into what it would look like to be more intentional in the kind of culture you create. You can't just expect, oh, I've hired good people, so I have a good culture, or the values of my workplace are X, Y, Z, and it's painted on the wall in the stairwell, so it must be true. You have to think about how explicitly you can model what behaviors are positive and what kind of guidelines are expected in terms of professional conduct, as well as model the kinds of consequences there might be for when people do things that aren't okay. And to me, that's the bigger question, is like, can we start to make leaders recognize how much responsibility they bear, and that it's not the victim's responsibility to bring this to your attention. It's your responsibility to not make the culture one that allows people to act that way to begin with.